Welcome back to week 11 of the Quake Pro League. I'm 40 Lions, joined by the one and only ZSX. And I'm just having some height issues. I don't know what's going on, Dan. But we have our fourth set on the way. It's going to be Toxic versus psygib.
Yeah, an interesting one for sure. I mean, two players that have had, again, hit or miss seasons, but where you going, Mr. Potato Head?
I don't know. I gotta get a box to stand on. I gotta talk to 04. I'm the shortest person on the cast. Anyways, you were saying
reinforced box.
That's true. Steel box.
I mean, you put me on. You put me off track now. Let's just go into the picks and bans so I can remind myself what the hell's going on.
We're not even right. There's other things we have to talk about first.
Is there?
Well, yeah. Roll the video. Roll the video of Tox. Tox is my favorite.
What is going on?
This is falling apart.
He wasn't even ready for this now. This cast, man.
All right. All right. Welcome back to Quake Pro League Week 11. And here we go. So there's Tox. so Tox has had a bit of a rough ride. Last week, he was able to take a map off of Zeneku, which is pretty good considering Zen is on the up and up as well. So we've seen historically Tox be in the lead mid-map, and then last 7 minutes, again, I hate to bring it up because I feel like it's Caster's Curse, but just throws it away. We see 2 wins on the board, a lot of losses. Some of those do have maps in the series, but, I mean, it's another week, another chance, and it's going to be against psygib.
I mean, the good thing is that Tox has generally been beating players that you would expect him to beat. The worrying thing is the amount of 3-0s in there that have gone his way. There's been such highs and lows with Tox, as we know, that comes with the territory with Tox. I've always said that I would just love to see a bit more stability and consistency in his play, even just be back to basics, be methodical. But some of these games we've watched him in has just been wild. And so if we can add that to his game, he's incredibly scary, but it just hasn't been his day. Now, this is a matchup one would look on paper that he would be probably slightly favored to win, but at the same time, if psygib shows up and psygib plays his game, we've seen him take maps off the likes of Rafa and has it in him to beat anyone. So this is a more of an interesting one from my perspective, because psygib can play that nice, stable, methodical game that Tox sometimes lacks.
Yeah, and coming off a 2-1 victory over Chain, psygib's got to be feeling pretty good. I mean, Tox is a whole nother beast to deal with. And depending on the pick bans, you might be going up against some of Tox's best champs. But as we take a look at the history for psygib this season, a bit of a rough road for him as well. He is sitting currently, I want to say 13th, it looks like, on the leaderboard. So again, on that chopping block or close to as we get closer and closer to the Quake World Championship. So this is going to be a big match for both players.
Yeah, and obviously looking at that, again, losing pretty much to everyone you expect him to, but that Kron loss was the big one for me. No disrespect to Kron, but given the rough road he's had this season, yes, he's still a very good player, but you would expect someone as experienced as psygib has been in the league so long to take that one. So he's just another one of these players that has not been living up to expectations. And we've just seen Chain picking up a victory. If psygib loses today, he could be another one than what we see down in that relegation zone. And we've seen good players go into that space and get knocked out, and we've never seen them since. So could there be another NA guy to bite the dust here?
Potentially, as we are going to jump into the pick bans now that we are ready for them. We can see exactly what we have in store. We're going to start off on Deep Embrace and then head over to Awoken and end the series with Molten Falls. In terms of the champs, Dan, anything that you see that you really like?
No, I think we've seen many wild drafts today, 40, but this is probably the most traditional. I think the biggest pick I like on the board there is probably the Stroke Peaker on Tox, just because we know how much he enjoys that type of playstyle, and he gets it on a map like Deep Embrace, but the Doom is obviously a very stable pick to go up against it. So I think across the board here, they've gone for picks they feel comfortable on. The Anarchy on Awoken, for instance, is a little bit more unusual, but it's something psygib enjoys, and he knows how to play well, so that's the most important thing in this type of matchup. So, I think this is actually probably one of the more even drafts we've seen today.
Yeah, so Strog versus Doom to start off on Deep Embrace, Ranger versus Anarchy, and then Galena versus BJ on Molten Falls. Interesting. You said before this is going to be a big set for both players. Who do you think you tend to lean towards now that we get the full picture?
This is one of those where it really depends how Tox turns up. If Tox turns up and doesn't play as good as we know he can, psygib will take this one, 2-1 probably. But if Tox turns up and plays as strong as he can, I expect Tox to take this 2-1. I expect psygib to get a map. I think he's good enough to do that. Which way it then leans, in my opinion, it actually depends on how well Tox plays, not well how psygib plays. I think psygib will be, as psygib does, pretty good and stable. If he plays as good as he can and Tox plays as good as he can, I would still probably give it to Tox. And so the question is, which Tox turns up today?
We will see shortly as we're getting ready to load into map number 1, and we're going to see if we see the ascension from psygib to psygod. Maybe we'll see the aviators, maybe we'll see a headband. I don't know.
It's been a while, man.
It
Taken
has.
a look, but not pulled it off anywhere near as well.
It makes me sad. I kind of miss it. But he's got to get into his own rhythm and start his own kind of kickstart to the map, and it all starts with Deep Embrace. So we'll see exactly what we have in store. Toxic versus psygib, 4th set of Week 11, live right now between these two players. We're going to start off on Tox.
Big confrontation from the start. Tox taking virtually no damage, but dealing it out from below. psygib having to scuttle away, using the Berserk as well to try and get around the map, and it works out beautifully.
If we didn't mention before, psygib's rockets are pretty nuts sometimes, and he literally just hits an air rocket to throw Tox off the map. Now, he is reeling after that, 13 HP in just a matter of time before Tox gets that back, which he does, but still, a strong start from both players here. As the refrag comes out in a timely fashion, psygib making a mad dash to the heavy. Is it going to be quick enough? No. Tox is there to deny that one and pick it up himself.
Tox is running low on LG and has not got a rail, so needs to spend more time getting the weaponry he needs to fight, but he just wants to fight, even though he's not really set up to do so. And that's the type of decision-making he needs to eradicate from his game. Lovely use of the stronger peak, but it is trade.
Not bad. Again, this could be a street fight. We're well on our way. 120 in, 3-2 already. More of a traditional Deep Embrace where it's fast-paced, maybe even a little sloppy then here. LG on LG, psygib moonwalking his way out of there. Gets stuck on the geometry of the map. Seen that before today, and that'll cost you every time. As here comes Tox flying in with an LG of his own, and there's the rocket. Well placed. Tied at 3.
Well, these two are certainly playing some Quake.
You're in the server. Indeed here. psygib, wow. Even with the Berserk, gets hit with the rail, using that speed to try and grab the heavy, which he does, but very weak. Tox doing the scouting report with the peeker, stuck in a terrible position here, and just enough damage. Good rail around the corner there. psygib grabs his 4th, but he's still very weak, so Tox doing a good job of trading damage. Can he stay on top of it to get the refrag? Oh, and the trade for psygib. Not too bad, as now they get fresh starts. Wow.
Non-stop action between these two, but psygib is the one slowly building that momentum of getting the better of these trades. Again, Tox just going mano a mano. Jesus.
A lot of peeker damage. Wants to finish him. Pulls up, jump pad. psygib getting Berserk out of there. Oh, he hits his head, and no. Can't run away. They'll find me. 6-6. We're not even 3 minutes in, Dan.
They just want to fight.
This is it. Love it. Love to see it. Tox able to get the best of psygib on that one before securing the heavy. psygib spawns on the LG. Beelines it to the Mega, but now takes a position on the machine gun. Still a good defensive position here as Tox comes sliding in through the doorway, but so much damage with the LG.
Just relentless damage.
Can't stop, won't stop. Well-placed rocket, and oh, Tox still the LG. Too much to handle, and slowly the frag lead is building for Tox. He's still incredibly weak, looking for resources. psygib able to claim the Mega for free. A little bit of tribal. Fantastic rail from psygib there.
Really, from both of them, to be fair, it's just incredibly back and forth. We've already had 5,000 damage combined between these two. 4 minutes of play.
Ooh, nice little tri-bolt angle to get the information. Tox comes flying around the corner, takes too much LG damage. psygib melts him down, cuts the lead to 2. What a rail. Well, psygib making this look easy. He's hitting all these rails and not taking any return damage from Tox here. Tox, so be careful. He's flying in with the LG again. Again, utilizing the double jump well to grab the heavy and make his way over to the Mega. No! He gets hit with the putback. Where are you going?
Tox has 20 health and yet wants to fight.
Yeah, no fear.
He had 2 health
no
bubbles
time
behind
for fear.
him. He just backpedaled, my friend. The scary thing is that psygib can definitely hold his own. The aim is not one-sided in this game.
No, not at all. I mean, psygib has great rockets, fantastic LG. Both players hitting 36 and 34% respectively in regards to LG. Tox getting the best of them in terms of railgun accuracy, but psygib's technically fired more shots. So I'd say all things about even right now, including the score. And the control is about even as well. psygib getting a little bit more heavy and megas. Fighting from below. Tox trying to make some magic happen. Decent rocket there from psygib in retaliation as he's using that double jump to gain space. And Tox trying to punish this pickup, but it looks like he might go down again. And psygib's so weak. Can he make a miracle happen? And no, he gets slapped in the face with Tox's peeker.
It's funny talking about items for Tox. It's like, oh yeah, those things that I run over when I just run over your corpse as well. Like, they just get in my way. He is stacked now. That rail will indicate Tox will want to push forward here as he's desperately trying to continue this fighting. 10-9, still nearly half this game to play. Tox able to extend his lead with a clean frag.
Very, very clean. psygib does get better positioning on this Mega. Due to the pathing, Tox is actually able to take that one away and make a rather clean break for the Oh, he jumps right into the fray and catches psygib off guard, I think. So much LG damage. That light armor pickup saved psygib's life as he was railable. 65 HP right back down as Tox hit one. Right between the eyes, 100 HP for psygib. He's still going to try and pressure and make sure that he gets a rail so he can fight back. The tri-bolt just narrowly connecting with psygib on that one. Still down 3, looking to try and cut the deficit here.
Pretty much the biggest lead we've seen in this map, though. So Tox is getting to a point with the time as well, where this lead is becoming not commanding, but at least substantial enough to see the map out. Obviously, assuming they continue to trade.
And historically, this is where things get scary. So it'll be nice to see Tox play defensive. Still not disappear off the map completely, but put his mark on it. Battle for items just enough to be able to maintain this lead. psygib looking to grab this heavy and make the final push in these 2 minutes to try and grab 3 or more frags. What an upset that happened.
Psygib just can't leave the area.
It just gets peppered with tri-bolt. Let's get the megas. Both items are nearly in sync, so Tox will be happy with the heavy as this stack is gigantic. Misses with that rail peeker around the corner. The rocket will not land for psygib. Taking damage, dropping down to the light. Forced into the low ground now and again. Oh, big rocket there. Pops the berserk just to get out.
Yeah, and over the past couple of minutes, they were tied for damage 6-7 minutes in, but Tox has been doing substantial amount more chip damage in between with the tri-bolt and other spam. And that has been one of the points of difference at this particular map. When they were just going ham at it, they were trading back and forth, but Tox has begun to become more balanced in his approach.
You love to see it. Nice shots from psygib. Good sequence of events. The tri-bolt from Tox almost takes him out. The light
nice.
armor will be the death of him. psygib goes down. 4 frag lead for Tox. If you're a Tox fan, you love to see it. 40 seconds until you can claim victory in this map number 1. Good rail on the way out. You gonna have enough time to grab the heavy? He will. This might go down here. psygib has to push and convert this frag. 30 seconds left. He doesn't have a choice, but he doesn't have an angle either. Doesn't have a rail, more importantly. Tox with the fancy footwork, using that crouch slide perfectly. He's gonna be able to grab the mega in the middle of the fight. Should be able to take down psygib here, and that's a clean rail on the way out.
Yeah, what started off as very, very chaotic, quite quickly actually, maneuvered itself into more of a strategical game from Tox's POV. So, you know, settled into the set quite nicely, really well played, an absolute brawl, almost old school Quake in many aspects, just going at it, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, not bad at all. That's more of a standard deep embrace. Near the end, it kind of became a more calculated one that we've seen recently, but back when the map was first introduced, woo, I think we had the highest score on deep embrace, or at least for a while. That was a good one. But fantastic showing from Tox. That's the Tox you want to see if you're a Tox fan. And psygib on the back foot now, trailing a map early in the set. We're going to make our way over to Awoken, and it's going to be Ranger versus Anarchy. Ranger for Tox, Anarchy for psygib. Do you see any potential problems here? The Dire Orb, again, standout for me. Very versatile on the Ranger. Might be uphill battle for psygib.
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, the Ranger gives you that utility, the passive rocket jump, the orb. We saw it earlier when Rafa just dismantled Strong Sage with it, I believe. That is the weakness of this particular matchup. However, Awoken is a map with the speed. Comes into a lot more effect with that, opening up the angles for the rail. So that's going to be the deciding factor for me, is going to be the use of the inject and using the speed to manufacture rail angles. Otherwise, I think just Ranger in general has parallel utility on a map like Awoken.
We'll see shortly. As we're taking a look at the highlights here from map number 1, deep embrace between these two. We mentioned early, slugfest early on, slowing down into a more calculated map. And it's just good to see Tox close these out. We got around the 7-minute mark, and I got a little scared. And I'm sure some people in chat did. Again, historically, that's kind of where it all falls apart. But not this time, says Tox. 14-9. We take a look at the stats. Tox able to bundle that one up nicely, put it in his pocket. Moving on to map number 2. Maybe even a series victory.
191 damage with Rocket. Just LG and rail.
That's all you need. That's all you need. I know Kovac in the chat is livid at the rail, but LG, real strong, real good.
Relentless pressure from Toxic. That's what we said. This Dragon Pika suits him perfectly. Has the stack, has the speed, has all the ingredients he needs to open up how he wants to play the game. Woken has very similar ingredients of it. Obviously, he doesn't have the speed advantage this time, so has to be slightly more cautious when it comes to that. He can get out-positioned, out-maneuvered by psygib, and that's going to be the deficiency here, is that he needs to pay more attention to his positioning. He can't just go as ham as he was doing in that particular map and make it pay.
Yep. Be a very uphill battle here as we're loading into Awoken map number 2. Tox working on a 2-0 in the set. Love to see it, as again, getting closer and closer to the Quake World Championship. Seeding matters. So you can get that first round bye and not have to worry about the first day of play, not get stuck in the trenches, battling your way out. Again, at those big tournaments, it's all about endurance. All about endurance and being able to play multiple games a day, and just, you know, deeper champ pools also come into play with the best 5s. But map number 2 right now, between Tox and psygib. Underway here on Awoken. Can psygib pull it out with Anarchy? Send us to map number 3 for the decider. Let's see what he got. So we're going to start on Tox. Already with the rail. 7 seconds in, love to see it. Is he going to use more rockets? Who knows, Dan?
Should have to on a map like Awoken, but yeah, his aim was absolutely phenomenal last map. That's the game you don't want to play against Tox, right? You don't want to just go into an aim battle against Tox, particularly if it's even stacked. Sure, if you're the one that's controlling the map completely, absolutely, that's where Tox often falls down. He'll run at you without a stack. Give him a stack, then it's a matchup you don't want to play against. Directional coming out, rail actually hits on psygib. No items up to contest, so it's going to just be a repositioning now.
little bit of rocket damage right there. Almost connects with a big one. Here's the jump pad, but psygib wisely deters himself from committing.
Nice.
Again, nice combo, but the initial rocket damage just isn't a lot. So psygib able to muscle his way onto the Mega. Tox will grab at the heavy. There's content now with the start. And again, these rockets, the predictions are good. They're just not quite meaty enough to end. Tox is almost there with some big, big rocket damage.
Nobody's being more respectful to psygib this map than he was last map, saying that he hasn't got an LG yet, so he hasn't unlocked his true form. Although, respectful my ass here, it's just trying to unlock the door.
Waiting for his opportunity, and psygib with a great rail.
Yeah, no timing there from Tox, backing off the ice in there, and psygib makes him pay. Tox winning around for this heavy armor. It will in fact win it. He can orb out, but instead he orbs to his opponent. Straight through the door, in fact.
Trying to get a rail angle from down below here. Next item will be Mega. Psygib perched to top it. LG on LG. Tox does have the light armor to work with. Already uses the health bubble and the light armor. Trying to find these rails. Psygib won't land one of his own either. Does get the Mega. Now it's going to be, can Psygib do a lot of damage? Tries to get a cheeky rail. We're taking a little bit of LG and getting pushed through the telly. Trying to make his way back to rockets now. Big opportunity? No, he's just going to... Oh! That's a big rail.
Huge.
Oh, another one. Almost gets the third. Psygib hanging by a thread right now. Tox. Trying to find him and just finish out this frag and tie it at one. A rocket will not go around the corner. And actually using the die rope to make sure that there's no funny business. Psygib can't use that speed to try and slow it down. Good tribal.
Yeah, but psygib's doing a great job of managing the distance between these two. He does not want to play into an aim battle this particular map.
Pickup of the Mega for Tox. Again, he moonwalks his way back to the heavy, so another round of items, but can he capitalize? He needs to re-up on the rockets. Psygib pushed to top. T-Con. Tox wants to re-up on rails. He said the percentages were absolutely nuts. What a play from Tox. He wants to take the fight to Psygib into the LG, catches him off guard, but can't quite finish it, and sacrifices position on the Mega. Now he has to bull rush his way through the choke point, and Psygib actually picks it up, might even convert this. This has gone horribly wrong. Ooh, but the switch back to LG, as Psygib cannot land a rail to save his life, literally.
Yeah, fortunate psygib didn't there. Again, a big mistake coming from Tox. And these are the errors we were talking about in the intro that can cost Tox big against players that punish them. Huge mistiming there, gave psygib position. Psygib's just doing a good job, again, of repositioning. Also, restraining himself from using the inject until he absolutely needs it, and that's catching Tox off guard. Tox has once again outpositioned himself for the Mega. Zero reason why psygib can just waltz onto that with no weapons.
No rockets for Tox. He's got to fight with his LG. Dire Orbs out, but doesn't get too far. More LG fadeaway. Rail does connect, grabs a health bubble as well. Psygib drops down, pops the inject. Now he rocket jumps up, has the extra HP, and the rail, oh, he hung in there, just couldn't connect. Psygib's so weak, but he's very, very early for this Mega. Still no rockets for Tox. Now it's getting sloppy. Might go back to that back and forth bar fight that we saw earlier here. As Tox again getting caught out here at the heavy, able to grab it and make his way out, hopefully eating so much damage though.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Psygib's doing a great job of just punishing Tox, because Tox isn't 100% on the timings. He's turning up to items, he's a little bit early, he's not securing the area, and therefore Psygib is able to get these positions to punish the pickup. So because of that, Tox has never been able to build a competitive stack. I mean, And he's just wasting his orb as well. So these decisions, I mean, his aim and experience ultimately are keeping him in the set. But the mistakes is what is allowing psygib to ultimately take the lead here.
Yeah, not sure what that dire orb was supposed to do. I mean, grab the heavy and get out, but
So
mistimed horribly.
Yeah.
And that cost him a psygib. Able to maintain position, grab the heavy after the frag, and now Tox trying to stay alive. A lot of tribal damage in LG. This could be big. Psygib has to go through the heavens, and Tox able to stabilize just enough to grab the tickle that he needed, but Psygib might be able to jump back into this one and try and get the refrag. Tox will restack. That window is closed, but 2-2, and this is tense.
We spoke about in the intro how important the orbs are, and ultimately, as you pointed out, they're just being wasted. So all of these, even if they might seem small decisions, the margins, they keep adding up. Is allowing psygib back into the game. We're still 2-2. 3 minutes to go, but Tox is not in a healthy position.
He's grabbing the resources that are available. Will have to concede the heavy. Not sure if he's in a position to hear that, so that might come into play here, as his timings have already been not
horrible.
great. So
he's so early for the Mega as well. He's going to have to retreat here and try and just do this damage from range. And now he's completely out of position for absolutely anything on the map. Has to force the orb just to get out. Not where you want to be. Psygib's confident to push on here. He's got the inject coming off. Cooldown in any second, so knows he can take a fight.
now trailing by one. Tox has to have some magic happen right now. Connect with some rails, do something a little crazy. There's one to start it. Can he maintain position on the Mega? And again, he's so early that he just backs off. He knows he can't really stick around. Does double back though.
He's gonna just have to take this fight now. He's getting confident, but he's got no stack. psygib waits at the very last second to pick up the Mega, gets full utility, and now he's beginning to connect. Oof.
psygib able to grab the resources.
Nice push though.
Huge
That was huge
damage
push.
there from Tox. Yeah, very aggressive, very clean. So he's only trailing by one. And again, psygib already took all the resources in the LG room. Inject won't be up for another 5 seconds, and this puts psygib in a terrible position. 2 seconds till the inject. Will he get caught out the rail? Just missing.
Oh, Court of God, but Tox can't connect with anything. The heavy's up now as well. psygib's just gonna jump on it. Gets railed mid-flight. Still 1 HP alive.
Machine gun.
Anything but a
Machine
rail.
gun.
No.
All right,
Oh
rail's
my
fine.
God.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Tied at 4, 1 minute left. Tox potential right now as he has timing on the Mega. Wasn't the cleanest fight, but it's good enough. He's able to secure the light armor, re-up on LG, and rail as well. So Tox in the driver's seat to take this one away from psygib. Needs to be careful not to take too much damage here. There's one free rail for psygib, going for another one. Misses with the second. He could die over, he's gonna take the fight.
Yep.
Oh, buddy.
Of course
Oh,
he
no.
is. Taking so much damage from that though. Although psygib waltzes into a rocket. Has to pop the inject.
Good read. This is it.
Yeah.
You should push in right here. LG,
LG,
something, please.
LG!
Why? All right, the rail. He's gonna live and die by the rail, Dan. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
What are we gonna tell Tox? It's Tox. What are we to say?
So stressed.
Oh no!
Oh, I thought he was gonna get tele.
What?
I just broke my mouse.
You lose.
Does Tox not have the clock on his screen? Like, why? Why are you dropping? My God. I think I genuinely broke my mouse, you know.
I just don't get it, man. I don't know.
He's just creating a
You make
storyline.
sense of that, Dan. You're the analyst. You make sense of that, because I can't.
There is no reason. Like, you want to end the game, but it opens up the door for risk, which is what just happened. Like unless he's just creating a narrative for us, I don't know what just happened.
It was done. It was done.
I think Tox has this I don't know, motivation where he sees the enemy and just barrels towards them, irrespective.
The chip in his brain is must murder, must frag.
Exactly. Like something from The Shining, just has to run at you. And there is no logical reason why you would make that move.
It doesn't compute. Somewhere a firmware upgrade needs to happen. I mean, it was a fantastic display of back and forth from both players. Tox able to come back, fantastic aggressive play to take the frag. And then psygib is able to just Koopa him right there. Yeah, nothing makes sense anymore. nothing makes sense. But that does send us into map number 3 as the deciders. We take a look at the breakdown there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Cool. Well, 1-1, tied series. I mean, looking at the context of the game, it was a phenomenal game. Extremely back and forth, obviously. Lots of errors from Tox's perspective with regards to timing, but really well played from psygib's POV to work around that, maintain his presence on the map, punish Tox for the mistakes and keep in it. And you know, it was that mentality that made him win the game in the end. It could have quite easily crumbled away with the pressure that Tox was trying to put on, but psygib did exactly the right thing at pretty much every single step. Wasn't able to punish as hard as he wanted, but he did enough to stay in the game. And that ultimately is all he needed to do.
And again, to be fair, yes, maybe a flub from Tox, maybe a mistake, but psygib still was in the game, capitalizing on it, playing till the end of the clock. So we can't stress that enough. I mean, if psygib put his hands off the keyboard and mouse, it wouldn't have mattered. So play till the end is what we've learned there, as psygib is able to literally steal that map from Tox, from his cold, dead hands, and send us to map number 3 as the decider. I'm still floored by what just happened, but shouts to psygib for staying in it as we load up into map number 3.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And poor mouse, RIP. Molten Falls, it's going to be Galena for Tox and BJ for psygib. And I don't know anymore. It's crazy. Why? So close. I could understand if it was like a telefrag or something. Then we've seen that before. I think Chain versus Razy or something. Just heartbreaking telefrag to send it into OT, but that seemed so unnecessary. I don't know. Well, see, chat, we're looking out for you. That's why we didn't have predictions, because most of you would have been in shambles, and I don't see anyone thanking us for that. So
I think chat didn't see the overtime.
Oh yeah, they didn't, right? Did they?
Yeah.
I don't know, because it was that quick. It was 10 seconds.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Moaning at everything.
Whatever.
Well, I guess the question is, will Tox be frustrated by that, and will that change his decisions going into this game?
The answer is absolutely not. He's willing to go toe-to-toe with dual rockets. With a skirmish there at the beginning. He's going to drop on down into more rockets and get the frag. And when that happens, why would you listen to anyone else?
One to one, 30 seconds in. These guys just want to fight. One might have expected a slower paced game because of the nature of the champions, but not to begin this one, 40. Tox working his way to the overstack though, just needs one more. They are obviously set up on top of each other by the TP, so be quite easily broken.
Tox able to secure the heavy. Does have a decent totem economy going. In 10 seconds, I'll have the overstack. Ooh, into the dual wield, but just not enough stack to really pop that. A bit of a waste. Tox is able to take this 2-1, and if he gets this third totem going, he can start favoring playing towards the heavy a little bit more than the mega. He is going towards it to deny it from psygib. As psygib trying to make something happen, misses with the rail, and this might cost him here. As psygib able to use the passive to heal back up, but goes down. Does hit a rail on the way out, but again, the overstack is right there, and the heavy as well.
Exactly that. Oh, psygib comes flying in. Actually knows Tox works his way across. Lovely steal from psygib in context. He should be able to clear up the overstack as well, but needs to be careful.
Like a bat out of hell just jumping down and be like, mine! Preemptive dual wield, expecting Tox to put on the aggression, and surprisingly, Tox was not there. Like, hey man, we had a deal. What happened to plus forward?
Here it comes now. It's like it walking into Tox here, but Tox is ready with the weaponry, not able to connect with the rail though, and easiest frag of psygib's life.
So
Use of
many
the overstack
totems.
there. Yeah, he's headed up pretty much the whole map, so really well played by Tox. Quite happy
Very
to compete
dangerous.
when he's got a constant overstack in his pocket. So psygib definitely needs to go out of his way to try and remove that.
Oh, now Tox doing damage, forcing him maybe to go through the tally, and that can be even bigger damage as he is going to push in through the lower, knowing that the totems are up, but this might melt him anyway. And yeah, psygib goes down. Does steal away the heavy, but that was just a brutal, brutal positioning play from Tox right there.
Exactly, and a bit of a desperation use of the dual wield there. When you're not able to hit rockets from the low ground, two of them won't help you.
Oh! And Tox go through the telly and make it there. He still has overstack. Psygib saw all the totems, but he's hyper focusing on Tox, as he should. Tox
Oh,
with
he's
the
too
LG
early.
again.
No, he didn't get a heavy. So far, it's been Tox just concentrating on keeping a basic stack working around the overstack, so psygib's had pretty much all of the major items to work with. There's so many totems there.
It's just 75 totems there. Oh man, if only they could just count up that high. But 5-2, Tox looking very, very strong right now. Maybe rare footage of Tox actually angry after that last map. It was stolen away from him. But 4 minutes in, looking a lot stronger, a lot more stable. And there it is.
Oh, that
One
is
rocket
so
to rule them all. Oh my god,
Wow.
but the LG.
Oh my
Literally
Lord.
sticking his hand out on his forehead as psygib windmills towards him, and there's nothing he can do.
Jeez. See psygib just not being able to walk forward. There was so much damage sticking at him. Wow, and Tox, with the overstack that he hadn't need to really leave this room of the heavy area. He's just been quite happy playing around it.
I think this is just like a practice session for Tox because he's had 2,000 damage with LG and the most 300 with Ram. Everything else is 100 plus barely. It's just LG all day right now.
8 frags from LG, 1 from Rail. Has to be fired 1 rocket. He's fired 1 rocket. This is
love it.
insane.
And he's up by 7.
just
Don't ever let
ignores it.
anyone tell you how to play this game.
He just ran straight past the rocket. He doesn't even want it. Tribal, LG, and Rail. The Holy Trinity. The new Holy Trinity.
Yeah, that's it. Tox, totems, tenacity. That's all you need. 7 frags. There's another totem down, working on his totem economy. Does have 100 HP, no armor, but now the tri-bolt into the rail. psygib
my.
goes down again, and Tox, he's crazy.
Where was this Tox all my life?
You just gotta get him angry, I guess. You gotta steal a map from him, and he's like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna sit up in my chair now and play.
Basically. Oh, man.
Help totem
Poor
initiated.
psygib to be on the receiving end of this, though.
Yeah, this is a far cry from what we've seen before. There's a good defensive rail, but had enough momentum to get around the corner. The dual LGs won't be able to quite catch up. Tox makes his escape, but yes, this is a different beast. I mean, similar. Ooh, nice shot there from psygib catching out Tox, but just pure LG onslaught.
Just defend the LG. Just go to it. Wait there. He's already got it.
Yeah, it's game over. psygib dropping down with rockets.
Yep.
My
Gee.
life
Not the play.
saves you.
Unfortunately, not against this Tox. $330 on the board to regain 8 frags against this style of Tox that again has 2 totems up, and it almost seems like he's just always 1 away from overstack. A lot of damage, and the rockets when he needs them are there.
Very nice. 12 to
May the
3.
power heal you.
psygib doesn't really have a choice now. He's trying to attack anyway, but he just has to at this point.
Yeah, and 3 minutes from now, we could have been saying that's a 3-0 for Tox. But again, psygib playing it till the last beat. Steal away map number 2. If you missed it, go back and watch it, because it was brutal. Just like this is. A little bit different version of brutal, as Tox is just asserting pure dominance across this using only rail and LG, it feels like. Look at that, drops down. Where are you going? Misses with the rail and just punishes accordingly, and yeah, this is beat down.
The only use of the rocket is to rocket jump. To reposition for more LG.
It's a mobility tool. This is a weapon? I can use this to do damage?
To myself. It doesn't care if there's 2 LGs, it just means it gives the opponent a fair chance, and 2.5k damage with LG alone.
I was gonna say, he used the dual wield LG to do more damage to a totem than he did to Tox. So, those pesky, pesky totems, man. Tox actually curious as to why that was up. He's like, wait, you just leave the mega up for me? All right. Less than 2 minutes remaining, 10 frags separate these two, and I think psygib may know that it's over. But still, a fantastic second map, playing until literally the buzzer beater. Oh, see ya! Why don't I go send you near Rafa? Why don't you go check him out, have a little chat about what just happened. 120 on the board.
Basically, his first damage with the rocket is to ring out psygib.
Oh! Oh, it's just, this is bucket worthy now. Not again.
What is happening?
I don't know. I don't know. He's real stoic about it, though. I tell you what. I wonder if he ever won the lottery, if he'd like crack a smile, or if he'd just be like, this is great. psygib with a great rail frag there to put another one on the board. But nothing matters, as Tox has absolutely shattered psygib on map number 3 to take this series victory at 2-1. Everything else is just aim practice, which, funny enough, it felt like aim practice from the beginning for Tox, as he racked up near 3k damage with just LG.
He only has one of them. psygib has 2. Okay.
I was gonna say, there's no way it's another one.
16-7. Might be one of the biggest scorelines we've seen in this map in the QPL. That was a fun series, though, from start to finish, as we expected it would be.
Yeah. A lot of highs and lows and a lot of what the hell just happens. Good time. Shouts to Tox, taking that series 2-1. Unfortunately for psygib, map number 3 did not go the way that he thought it would. It was a very different map number 3. Yeah, good totem economy. Again, just able to have that overstack and play towards the heavy side of the map when he felt comfortable, able to push out and take the mega away from psygib as well. Dual rockets, dual LG, not really coming up big for psygib. As you always say, the return on investment with the ability was near non-existent, and that's going to cost you.
It's not even really like psygib did anything particularly wrong. He got the bigger stack, he tried to disengage Tox, but got melted.
He just made Tox mad, I think, was his biggest mistake.
Yeah. Like, he could have slowed it down and tried to play the rail game, but yeah, he just got absolutely melted. It's like a simple... Anytime he showed face, look at this, he just showed face and then disappeared. He even got the item. There's nothing you can do.
Yep.
So.
And then when you do use the rockets, it's either air rockets or sending you off the map. I mean, that is a vicious Tox that we saw. Yeah. And a thread away from a 3-0. Fortunately for psygib, he put up that second map, 2-1, but Tox will take this series. Well-deserved victory to get under the belt. Again, fighting for position on the leaderboards, trying to get first-round buys. Unfortunately, I feel like both these players are kind of iced out of that, but still, seeding matters. Do the best you can as we take a look at the breakdown from all 3 maps. That second one was a doozy. Go back and watch that over and over and over and over. Absolutely insane. But officially now, we are through the halfway point of the day. Coming up next, Dan, we've got Avec versus Maxter, and then we can get into the 2 featured matches. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Quake Pro League after this.